shattering the myth of the comfort zone. Should you find contentment in earning slightly more than your broke neighbors? Are you wealthy, or are you just slightly less poor? Obviously, how much your neighbors have is relevant, and if you are living next to lower or middle class people, you should not be comparing yourself and your capabilities and potential to these average people. Abandon this illusion of the middle class comfort zone. The middle class is one step away from broke. The middle class is one economic downturn away from financial scarcity. Stop comparing your status, your potential, to those who are less fortunate, to those who are not winning in this world. And they also may be facing harsher conditions than you are. You don't know their life situation. So if they're not doing particularly well, you definitely do not want to be comparing yourself to them. They are not a reflection of you. Their circumstances do not define your capabilities and potential. You are an entity of your own, whose focus should be on unlocking your personal potential. Regrettably, the predominant attitude towards finances is skewed in this world. People tend to like spending money a lot more than they like earning it. That is a problem. An alarming number of people barely earn enough money to get by, yet they exhaust their earnings and even more on credit. They entrap themselves in a relentless cycle of debt. They dig themselves a hole, and the deeper that hole gets, the more difficult it becomes to escape. This is not to say there is no value in being in the middle class compared to the lower class. Obviously, a moderate income and a moderate net worth is vastly superior to no income and no net worth. What I am challenging is the degree of comfort most people feel in the middle class. The middle class is not nearly as comfortable as it appears because it is typically assessed when things are going well. The real question is if your net worth and income were cut in half, would you still be able to comfortably support your lifestyle while continuing to save and invest? For the vast majority of individuals in the middle class, the answer is no. This makes them a ticking time bomb. They sit in comfort, losing their edge, their desire, their willingness to work hard to improve their financial situation. And they sit in this comfort until some external situation, some external event occurs which knocks them on their butt and back into poverty. I want you to get far enough away from poverty that even if you were in a severe economic depression and you lost your job and the stock market plummeted, as they tend to do in depressions, and your currency is experiencing hyperinflation, and you are hit with an expensive medical emergency which inhibits you from working for many months, are you still financially solid? Are you able to maintain your lifestyle? That is true financial freedom. Develop resilience, confront this reality, and increase your efforts at improving your financial situation. What is truly disheartening is that many individuals living in the middle class possess the potential to achieve so much more. They are typically intelligent, capable learners, ethical, and competent. However, they have surrendered their ambition. They have accepted the illusion of success and comfort and believe the middle class to be their final destination. Their potential to achieve greatness, to better care for and protect themselves and their loved ones, to significantly contribute to society remains untapped. Instead, they stop trying. They start taking it easy, not understanding the potential danger which lays ahead of them. I hope you never experience a significant economic downturn. I hope you are never fired from your job, or your business goes out of business, or your country goes to war, or your purchasing power gets hyperinflated away, or you or a family member incurs an expensive medical situation. But we should always prepare for these unfortunate yet realistic scenarios. You need money to cover these situations and several of them at the same time, as they tend to occur at the same time, at least sometimes. If you are in a severe economic depression, you are a lot more likely to lose your job, and your stock investments are a lot more likely to go down. Your government is more likely to print money and inflate the purchasing power that you do have. Things tend to go wrong at the same time, and people do not adequately plan for them. You need more money than you think to be financially free. Definitions matter. The term middle class is nebulous, lacking a universally accepted financial yardstick for measurement. An individual earning $40,000 might feel poor, while others may feel middle class. If you are earning this amount and living in Manhattan, you may feel like you're broke. If you are earning this amount and live in Mississippi, you may feel like you're doing all right. A person earning $40,000 a year might look at a person earning $100,000 a year and think of this person as prosperous and go, man, if I only had $100,000 a year, that would solve so many things. While these individuals actually making $100,000 a year understand it's really not that much money, and they are middle class at best. The average individual in Afghanistan will earn only $390 per year, and would likely view a person earning $40,000 as extremely well off. An annual income of $100,000 is a round number that many believe to be substantial, but it is not as bountiful as you may imagine, especially considering that as your income climbs, so do your expenses, at least for most people, and your marginal tax rates will also increase. This tax scenario is particularly difficult for salaried employees without the tax benefits that come with owning their own business, such as the ability to write off many purchases. Expenses rising is understandable. Going from $40,000 to say $100,000, you may purchase a safe and reliable vehicle along with good insurance. You move into a safe neighborhood. You get or upgrade health insurance. You start eating healthier food, which is more expensive food. You get a personal trainer and start getting in better physical shape. You may spend more on raising your child or on your significant other. These are completely valid and justifiable increases of expenses. I didn't say, you're going on all these vacations and you're buying dumb cars you don't need and you're just wasting money going out to eat every night. No, I didn't say that. I'm saying there are valid increased expenses that you can incur when your income is going up, when you are in the lower and middle class. Your quality of life will improve for sure, but you still find yourself in that same situation without enough money going into savings and investments at the end of the month. That is ultimately the problem with the middle class. The middle class will usually allow you to have what you want today, provided everything is going well. But it will typically not allow you to save enough money to be fully protected in case of a financial emergency. If you are in the middle class for 5 or 10 years, that simply may not be enough time for you to put away enough money to withstand a financial emergency. Now, granted, if you're in the middle class and you're putting away a moderate amount of money for 50 years before anything goes wrong, then you may be able to withstand that emergency. But we don't want to assume that everything is going to go perfectly for 40 or 50 years. As there is no black and white financial definition of the middle class, although some institutions may try to provide one, I would like to provide my definition of the middle class. The middle class is an individual who is in a current financial situation where they are not in poverty and do not appear to be in extremely close proximity to poverty. However, they do not have enough money to fully protect themselves from significant financial emergencies, such as being fired due to a severe economic depression, being unable to find a job for an extended period of time, which pays anything comparable to what they were being paid before, and simultaneously, their stock investments are cut in half due to a falling stock market. Throw in some inflation. Hey, if a person cannot withstand this situation, they have not reached the upper class. A significant financial issue such as this is statistically likely to occur at least once during a person's adult life. If a person cannot withstand it, they are a ticking time bomb to be sent back to poverty. I do not want that for you. You do not want that for you. Thus, we must resist the urge to become comfortable and lazy once we have reached the middle class. We must keep pushing. While obviously we must pass through the middle class on our way to the upper class, the goal is for the middle class to just be a stop along our journey to the upper class. The middle class, unfortunately, often exhibit a mentality which will keep them stuck in the middle class. Those who reside within the middle class often do not operate on the same scale of ambition, output, and intensity as those in the upper class, or ironically, even many of those in the lower class who are striving to break into the higher classes. Advocates of the middle class mindset encourage you to work moderately, save moderately, and relax moderately. They champion a life of mediocrity. But remember, moderation signifies limitations, and limitations infringe on our freedom. What you truly yearn for is unlimited freedom, or at least as close as we can get to unrestrained, unlimited freedom as we can. That is the essence of success. The purpose is not to merely accumulate money. It is about securing freedom and reaching closer towards our full potential. You face a decision: accept a life of scarcity or strive to amass a fortune. The power to choose lies within you. Missteps and wealth. Reflect on the financial errors you have made. What comes to mind? For the vast majority of individuals, they will list you a series of unwise purchases. That vacation they put on the credit card, the car they bought that they really couldn't afford the payments on, going out to eat way more often than their budget allowed for. Indeed, poor spending habits are a significant problem. But an order of magnitude 10 times more important than that is why you didn't have the money to be able to afford those things in the first place. When you think of your financial errors, you should not be thinking about the things you bought which you couldn't afford. Rather, you should be thinking about the hours you chose to sit on your behind and play video games and watch TV rather than work and produce income. You should be thinking about that business you wanted to start but never did. You should think about the effort you failed to apply in school, which resulted in you getting a worse paying job. You should be thinking about the effort you failed to apply at work, which resulted in you being overlooked for a promotion. You should think about how you failed to try your best to improve your income because you did not believe in your ability to achieve that higher income and succeed. These are your worst financial mistakes. It is a lack of earning, not spending, that are the biggest mistakes. Yes, of course, you need to control your spending. But it is a lot easier to put money into savings and investments when you add a zero to your income. Remember, the vast majority of your time, effort, and thought should be applied to income generation. If you had been more industrious and strategic, more hardworking, maybe willing to take on a little bit of risk over the past 5 or 10 years, you would have comfortably been able to pay for those things you purchased that ended up straining your bank account, or even worse, credit card. Your primary financial mistake is consistently thinking too small, demanding too little of yourself, and taking insufficient levels of action. Choosing the millionaire mindset. How does one amass $1 million US dollars, Australian, Canadian dollars, euros, pounds? They're all close enough. Unsurprisingly, the initial step is making a firm decision to become a millionaire. You must acknowledge that financial prosperity is a priority for you, and you are keen on achieving it. However, it is clear that the process requires more than simply stating our desire. I want to be rich. Okay, now what? Plenty of individuals express their wants, but refrain from taking the action necessary to realize what they want. You must be willing to both be clear and declare your ambitions and also act upon them. For instance, if your aim is to become the world's finest piano player, it would not suffice to merely vocalize your goal and then go about your usual daily routine. Clearly, this approach will not bring you any closer to your objective. To excel in piano, you must commit to daily training sessions, devote hours to practice, overcome any hurdles that prevent you from honing your skills. Each day, it would be beneficial to remind yourself of your target. Imagine yourself achieving it and invest time in studying the art and other great pianists. This might involve transferring to a different school with a superior music department, or moving to a city where there are job opportunities for a pianist. Last time I checked, which was never, there are not any world-class pianist jobs in Oxford, Mississippi. Similarly, you may want to become friends with several other pianists, including professional pianists who are earning and doing better than you are in the industry. You may produce music. You may start a YouTube channel on teaching piano, or become a piano teacher to help pay the bills if you are unable to find professional work. A significant portion of your existence must be dedicated to becoming the best pianist you can possibly be. Similarly, if your aspiration is to accumulate wealth, be prepared to pour your heart and soul into the endeavor. Dedicate your time and energy and seek every advantage you can to prosper financially. You must eliminate any barriers that obstruct your path to financial stability. You must regularly remind yourself of your desire for wealth and the reasons behind your desire. You must arrange your life and environment in a manner which is conducive to generating income. You must absorb knowledge pertinent to your field to acquire the skills needed for success. The journey and the destination. We have all heard the saying, "Success is a journey, not a destination." Wrong. If a person has zero money, zero emotional health, zero contribution to this world, or even worse, a net negative contributor, meaning they take more from this world than they contribute, and if this person has nearly zero health, meaning they are close to death, can we say this person at this time is a failure? Hey, some people like to think the world is full of rainbows and hugs, and that's okay. Those people are usually broke. I say this: that person is a failure. They are a financial failure, and they are a failure as a human being. I'm not saying that makes them a bad person. I'm not saying they didn't have a bad life. I'm saying they are a failure. That is the definition of failure as a human being, as far as I am concerned. Thus, failure is a destination. You can define failure. If failure is a destination and success is the opposite of failure, then success too is a destination. If a person has enough wealth that is appropriately diversified so that no reasonable situation, like an economic downturn, a war, we're not talking nuclear war, but more localized war between your country and another country, or hyperinflation, meaning you're diversified outside of your currency, etc. That no reasonable situation could ever negatively impact your ability to care for and provide a reasonably high quality standard of living for yourself and your loved ones. I would say that is financial success. If this person is emotionally satisfied or happy, is a net positive contributor to society, meaning they contribute more than they consume, and they are in good physical health, I would then say that person is an overall success. That human being is successful. That is not to say they cannot become more successful, but this person is a success. This person has reached the destination of success. Again, that does not mean they have reached their full potential, but they have reached success. Success is a destination, and your journey should be a passionate race towards it. It is unlikely riches will magically appear in your bank account tomorrow. Assume no one else can reach that destination of success for you. You need to make the money. You need to go to the gym, and you need to take care of your mental health. You might need to find alternative routes or break down barriers, but you must race towards it. So, ignore those who seek to diminish the significance of your destination of success, because they have decided they will never reach it themselves, and if somebody else reaches it, that's going to make them feel worse about themselves. By the way, the journey to success is a lot prettier than the journey to failure. What journey do you want to be on? Not everyone you come into contact with will comprehend what you are doing and why you are doing it. You need to discern who is with you and who is not. This area allows no room for fence sitters. If an individual is not supportive of your dreams and your journey towards your destination of success, they are not helpful to you and potentially harmful to you. Everyone you associate with should be supportive of you. If not, they will likely hinder your progress. Moving from poverty to wealth is hard enough. You do not need people doubting you, whispering negative thoughts into your ear while you attempt this very difficult task. You must decide, do you want to stay around those who hold you back, or do you want to be wealthy and attract supportive people into your life? The individuals you distance yourself from are not necessarily bad. Their mindset is simply not conducive to your goals. If you are committed to attaining wealth, you cannot afford to have anyone pull you back. If a person you live with is doubting you, it is extremely difficult to overcome. It is so difficult to improve your life if someone you live with is constantly spewing negativity on you, and you have a very difficult time getting away from that negativity when you live with them. It is unlikely you will succeed. these are the facts. You have a hard choice to make here if they are unwilling to change. And some people are willing to change, but other people do not care. They are going to doubt you. They are going to tell you you will not succeed. They are going to tell you that you will fail. And you have to decide, do you want to be a failure with this negative person in your life who refuses to change and be supportive of you and your dreams? Or do you want the life you have always dreamt of without this negative person, or at least this negative person living with you? It is particularly important that we are living with positive, supportive people. I encourage you to think of all the challenges that might be deterring your path towards financial prosperity. They can be tangible, such as lacking sufficient free time, or intangible, such as doubting your worthiness of wealth. Take a moment to figure out what may be holding you back from achieving greatness.